must realize you are doomed.
Thank you for joining the Scoundrels. We're here to talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 4. But before we get started, I always want to tell you, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get future videos sent to you. All right, gentlemen. Yes, it's true. I just rolled out of bed, as you could see. Woke up late, saw the bus fly by. Now I'm just here. I'm just going to stay here in my room. Getting the sleep out of my eyes, guys. We're going to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 4. Yes, I know everybody wants to talk about the ending, but let's talk about before the ending. And I know that's the biggest subject is the ending, but we're going to get right into to the beginning. So go ahead and put that spoiler alert on. All right, spoilers in this review, as always. So we start in the beginning. We get a little a flashback for Bucky and the Dora Milaje warrior. I don't think they gave her a name, so I'm just gonna call her that. So we see them at in a flashback, you know, trying to where he becomes the White Wolf, you know, trying to get him out of that mode of doing those commands, you know, the furnace and all this stuff. You know how Zemo did turn into the Winter Soldier to get him out of that. So that was nice to see. That was a little refreshing on that flashback. And then we go back to the townhouse, whatever you want to call it, the condo, whatever they're at. And yeah, we just see Zemo, him, and Sam. Right away, I just want to ask you guys, I didn't get to this in the last episode review, but how do you guys like, starting with you, Rich, Zemo, Sam, and Bucky's chemistry together? Do you like it? Did it do it for you? Was it lagging? Did it come together nicely?
No, I felt like in episode 3, it came together pretty well. Like you said, the actor that plays Zemo, anything that he does, even just him talking, it gets you into whatever situation they're in. But their chemistry, I like it. It's like, uh, it's not like, you know, buddy buddy, obviously, because all the stuff that Zemo's done in the past. But it's they know they need each other to help each other out. Like like Sam and Bucky need him for information. They know that he can get the information that they need, and Zemo knows that as long as he's with them, he's untouchable. He can't get hurt. No one can hurt him because they're gonna protect them.
I don't know how much I like the chemistry between Falcon and Winter Soldier towards Zemo, but I like anything chemistry from Zemo directed at them. Like, remember when they were on the airplane and he told his like helper, you know, if it smells bad, like give it to them. Like, okay, well, the thing about that is they'll smell it too and they'll know it's bad. It's just funny. Like he's
Yeah.
like, kind of like always playing that mind game, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
like stuff that he does towards them, you know, because you already know their response towards him. It's always going to be like yelling at him, you know, don't try anything, you know, we're going to arrest you again. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, Zemo doesn't
Mhm.
care.
You know what?
He's gonna.
I'm sorry. I gotta add to that point too, because I do remember that in the last episode where they're in the club. And remember where they're saying, just act the part. And then he was still trying to act like the Winter Soldier was under
Smiling.
his command.
Oh, right.
Remember, he goes and touches him. He's like, he'll do whatever you say, and he's just like egging it on because he
Yeah.
knows
Oh,
that he
yeah,
has
yeah.
a horrible past with that, and he's just trying to get it, like not trying to get him upset, but just showing him you gotta act cool throughout this whole moment. I get to do whatever I want. But yeah, I get
Yeah.
what you mean with that kind of chemistry that they have.
Yeah, but that's just showing to me too, like, you know, Zemo's playing chess and Sam and Bucky are playing shoots and ladders. You
Yeah.
know. So it's just like, man, he's just taking them on the ride a little bit. He's like 3 steps ahead of all of them.
Yeah.
So with that character. But yeah, I like the chemistry. I think it worked real well. As soon as the beginning of episode 3, I thought it was pretty on point for me. Anyways, let's go back to the story. So we're in their apartments or whatever you want to call it, their flat. And then you know, we get Walker, the new Cap, and we get what is his name, Battlestar,
Yeah, Battlestar.
Hoskins.
Yeah.
And they go in there, you know, demanding about Zemo. They want to take him back. Zemo's just chilling, got his little coffee mug, like,
Yeah.
okay, his little tea. And then boom, the Dora Milaje Warriors came in and says, nah, he's ours. And they just started, dude, man. What was that scene? Did that scene like what was your reaction to that scene, Rich? Did you like it?
That was one of the better fighting scenes I've seen in this entire series.
Mm,
Anything with Adora Milaje, just the way they fight ever since watching Black Panther, you always want more of it. Like their spears, their fighting technique and everything. And that scene, you get to see how overpowered Cap is. Like even towards the end of the fight scene, whenever Battlestar's trying to pick him up, he's like, "Are you all right?" Because he just looks like super defeated, well, not just physically, but like mentally. And he even says, they weren't even super soldiers, and they they whooped my ass. So you see the strength and the power of the Dora Milaje as a group. Like whenever they're whole, you see how strong they are. I mean, they were taking out, they were really taking out Battlestar and Captain America. Like they had no answers for them.
And
So,
that shot when one of them hits the shield up into their arm.
oh
oh,
Oh
dude, that was
man,
man, so
badass.
cool.
dude.
Yeah, I was like, just keep it. Just keep it. This guy doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Just keep it.
Yeah.
That fight scene shows that like almost like less is more. Like if you focus on very like articulate like scenes like that, like it's almost so much cooler than having like this grand shootout or like, shaky
Mm-hmm.
cam fight scenes with like a bunch of punching and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That spear just going straight through like the shield and sticking Captain America there, like John Walker, like just on the table and he can't even get up, or like just the way they're like disarming literally
Mm-hmm.
Winter Soldier.
Oh my
Like
god.
Oh man.
like just all these nice technical little things in the fight make the fight way better than all these
Yeah.
grand like fight scenes that they try to
Yeah.
shoot. They need to, yeah, like this was a really good fight scene. I can watch that one over for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that fight scene. I kind of feel bad for Walker because him and Battlestar got the ass whooped.
Whooped
I
Yeah.
big
mean, they
time.
got the ass handed to them, and he
Yeah.
was like, at the end, he was like, they're not even super soldiers. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, yeah, I like that though, because they're not super soldiers. They don't have no special serums or anything. You know what they
Yeah.
did? They did hard training and hard work, and they kick ass. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They didn't need all those props or anything. All they needed was a damn spear to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I liked about it. If you put in hard work, you can train like that. So, later on we find out, with the serum, what it does. That's what kind of took me back to. I'm like, oh, okay. If you put in your work, your hard work and training, you can get to
Yeah.
that type of level without all the, special stuff or juices to get you going. So
And,
that's what I
and
kind of got out of it.
and one of the things that happened prior to that scene, that awesome fight scene, is whenever they show what's her name, Kali? Is that her name? The redhead? Kaylee?
Carly.
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 Yeah.
Carly. Oh yeah.
Carly. Yeah, you see that she drops super soldier serum, and not Cap, Zemo starts smashing them all, besides one. When Cap comes in, he saves it, puts it in his pocket. So during this fight scene, you never know, did he take it yet, or is he still thinking about it? So whenever you see him get overpowered like that, it's like, is this like super soldier serum, Cap, or not? Because you didn't get to see, what he did with that serum.
I think
Go back. Yeah.
I was gonna say I
Go ahead.
think maybe there was just like you're supposed to see these signs of him
Like,
having like jealousy and being defeated and stuff to later know that he went to those lengths to get
yeah,
an
Yeah.
edge.
yeah, to get an
You know.
edge.
He was kind of demoralized, basically. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what it was. You're being demoralized. Your dignity kind of fell out. You were feeling pretty vulnerable. If you really think about it, he was feeling vulnerable. So let's get into that. They had the whole the funeral for Carly's. I think they called her Mama or Mama something. I
Yeah, I
can't
forgot her
remember. I'm
name.
sorry. But anyways, they have a funeral over there, and Sam was like, "Okay, let me go talk to her by myself. I've been through some stuff. Let me see if I can kind of talk her down a little bit and see it from our perspective." And right away, you kind of knew that he was on a short leash with Walker and Battlestar. So they're like, okay, so he go talks to Carly. They had a nice little interaction, and then boom, there goes John Walker, the fake Cap, going in there and just ruin it all. Just headstrong in there, and anyway, so then they have the little chase, and then the serum drops, and it's all destroyed from Zemo. And then you find out there was still one left, and then right then and there, what was your take on that perspective? I'll go to Vic since Rich kind of gave it to us a little
Yeah.
earlier.
Just the fact that they it was a perspective of the entire scene as a whole, or how?
Well, just the entire scene as a whole, and then we'll jump into him actually looking at that serum and having thoughts about it. I mean, for me personally, it kind of built up to that point where, he was thinking about that from the beginning.
So when we first see like Walker, he's in this locker room, and he's getting prepared to take on the mantle of Captain America, but obviously I think he's had the wrong idea of what being Captain America is this entire time. And everything that they show of this guy, he's either like jealous, or he's egotistical, or he demands like some sort of respect. But then on the other hand, when he's almost like, out of the suit, when he talks casually about like, Afghanistan and stuff, you kind of see that he kind of perceives himself as like a failure a little bit. Like he failed overall. He failed. So he's damaged in a way that like is troubling, because like if you don't have like a firm footing on your morals, and if you don't have your ego in check, that's like the makings of like a supervillain.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have your morals like in check. Like, so to me, he's always kind of been like, like, why are you even thinking about, they overpowered you, they weren't even super, like, that's not the question here. Like, the question is always going to be like, how can I help?
Yeah.
That's it. These people are obviously not enemies. Like Wakandans, or however you want to say it, have never been the enemy of anyone. So why would you care about them beating you in anything? And then furthermore, like, demanding, that somebody knows your name, or like, oh, I can't believe you spit on me, like, do you know who I am? Like, this is all like very egotistical and sad to see from someone wearing that and holding the shield.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Vic, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, him seeing that super soldier serum and like looking at it intently, I was like, of course he's gonna take it. He's that type of guy.
Yeah.
He's that type of person. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna say it's not necessarily. I'm not gonna say he's a bad guy for doing that. I'm not gonna say that. Others might say it, but I'm gonna go to this question for you, Rich. I'll start off with you. If you're in that predicament, here you've got the shield, and have everything that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? And then you're getting your let's be honest, you're getting your tail handed every which way. This is beyond your level, and you know it.
Yeah.
And you see that temptation. It's called temptation. Everybody deals with it.
Mm-hmm.
You see that temptation, and then you even talk to Battlestar, your friend, your best friend, right there at the table, thinking about it, kind of saying, hey, what would you do? What would you do? I mean, honestly, not saying either way. I would have to be honest. I would probably be there's more chances, more percentage. I probably would have took it, but that's just me.
Yeah.
What about you? What percentage would you have not taken it, or would you have taken it? Would you have thoughts like that, like he did?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it would be extremely tempting because this is just like his first introduction to the role, like his first big time mission, I would say. And it's only gonna get harder from here. Whenever the kind of villains that the original Captain America fought, he wouldn't last. He would be dead, in a matter of seconds. So it would be kind of tempting because I mean, you got to think about the future and yeah, who you're gonna fight. So I probably would have took it.
Vic, how about you, my man?
Take the super soldier serum. I
Yeah.
couldn't. I couldn't betray.
No.
No, I couldn't betray
Wow.
myself like that. No.
Well, that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting. What you right away you wouldn't even hesitate, wouldn't even look at it and say, you know
No,
what,
I
that's not
wouldn't.
even.
Yeah, immediately I would
Wow.
say
Okay.
no. Like before they even asked the question, like right in the middle of asking the question, I would, if I was paying attention, like immediately, and that was where I was at that point, I'd be like, no, like just let me out of whatever facility this is. I'll go be, who I want to be, instead of this. Because Lamar even told him, or Battlestar, he told him like, the it's just gonna make you more of you. Like power only makes you more of you, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like I feel like okay, so that's the show's definition of what power does to people. So um now that we see John Walker powered up, what do we think of him? That's more of him. How great is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you on that one. Okay. All right. So then uh they escape, Carly and her crew escape after the funeral. And then Carly actually who was it? It was the power broker called Carly, right? And her team.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting thing, is the power broker. Um I'll go into it right now. Do you think we're going to be introduced into the power broker at the end of the series or during this series? And is it somebody that you think that we already seen before?
Oh.
I think it's going to be someone new, and I definitely think we're going to be introduced pretty soon to who it actually is.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if it's anyone that has been introduced in past movies or anything. I'm not sure about that.
I think anything like filmed always wants to foreshadow and then, come back full
Mm-hmm.
circle. So if it doesn't have anything to do with the Americans, like the American government, I would be very shocked if that's not like the power broker, like some general or something that
Mm.
we saw in the first episode is going to be
Yeah.
it. Um,
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised by that. But I do, you know, speaking on like circling things back around, we did hear a tiny little snippet of somebody say, I believe it was Carly, I can't remember for sure, but somebody said there was never another Captain America, you know and or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I immediately thought of Isaiah, so I was like, okay, they didn't put that line in there for no reason. I feel like they did that to jog our memory about Isaiah. um in the
Okay.
That
end
is
game,
true.
in the end game of all of this, right, Zemo is going to be a bad guy, I think. But I think he's going to help for this show. I would be very shocked, and this is kind of getting into speculation, I'd be very shocked if he doesn't go back and kill Isaiah. Zemo does.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I'd be very shocked. But yeah, that's just a little like side note tangent,
Mm-hmm.
thinking about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, power broker, I think it's going to be somebody in the American government. I don't know why, I just have that feeling.
Like a real small character we've probably seen already for like two
Yeah.
seconds,
Yeah.
a glimpse of, oh, okay, I feel you on that one. Yeah, I don't know who the power broker is going to be. I kind of wish it is somebody brand new.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep reusing characters, I like
Yeah.
a new character,
Yeah. The problem with
so,
the Captain America like property is always like, our own government like has always been like kind of like the issue.
Yeah.
mhm,
It,
yeah,
it's always kind of been like that. So, or like a government entity like Shield.
yeah,
So
definitely,
it's
yeah,
always been something like that. So I'd be, like I said, I'd be really shocked if it wasn't tied back to our situation.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so she gets the call from the power broker saying, wants wants certain things done by specific time. So she's got to act now. So she went to a darker side. Carly did, and called Sam's sister and threatened
Hmm.
her and the kids. I mean, I really didn't believe her. I'll be perfectly honest with you, but we know because we're seeing a show, and I could kind of see. Oh, I didn't really believe her. I don't think she would do anything stupid like that. But not saying she's a good person, not saying she's a bad person in that aspect as well. Um, but so they go, and Sam and Bucky go meet her at the rendezvous. And while they're doing that, you see the scene of of where's Walker at, because
Mhm.
Walker and Battlestar are somewhere else, and right away, they get a beep beep from Sharon saying, "Hey, Walker's over here," and that's where they're going to go at. And sure enough, that's what they did. It was kind of a little bit of a setup so they can get, the fake Cap and Battlestar out of the equation.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about the next scene of that. Rich, how did you feel about all that fighting and what happened um, with Battlestar? And then
Ew.
with the new Cap, I mean, we have to get into it. What did you
Are,
think about that whole situation?
are we talking about like the very, very ending too? Or are we saving that? Or you just want to talk
Uh,
about the fight scene and the whole
the
and the
fights.
little?
We'll talk about the
Okay.
fight scene and the thing that happened to a Battlestar.
Yeah. So I mean, this whole time you're seeing again how overpowered they are, even by fighting these guys, uh, Carly's crew or whatever, the Flag Smashers. That's what they're called, right? The Flag
Yeah.
Smashers.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, you
Flag
see,
Smashers, yeah.
you see how overpowered they're starting to become over here too. And then that scene happens with Battlestar, and it's very weird seeing a superhero. Well, would you consider him a superhero? Just well, I don't know if I would even consider him a superhero, but a main character, because he was. I felt like he was a pretty big character in this show, but just to see him die, like
Well,
it was very weird.
what was your reaction to it? Like, were you in
Okay,
disbelief?
okay. At first, when he hit the what was it, like the little
Pillar?
yeah, the
Yeah.
pillar. There you go. When he hit the pillar and his eyes were like closed, I thought, okay, maybe he's just a little knocked out, a little winded. But then when you see his
Mm.
head drop, it's like, wow, I are they going this way? Like, are they actually killing off a big character of the show?
And John Walker's reaction is like so real and scary
See, yeah,
that
see,
it like frightened me. Like that whole scene I was like in complete disbelief, and I'm like, did they really just kill like the good guy? Because
yeah,
to
that,
me, he was an actual good guy,
yeah,
and it pissed me
Mm.
off. But at the same time, you know, Walker is like this hothead almost. Like he's holding back a lot of rage.
yeah.
So
You like
yeah,
you see that, like what you were talking about, him like snapping whenever he's going up to him. He's like, wake up. He's like slapping him, trying to see if he wakes up, and you see him slowly like going crazy. And
yeah,
even Carly sees it. She
yeah.
jets because
Yeah.
everyone. It's funny because it was like the scene reminded me of like fighting with your cousins like in the living room, and then someone gets hurt, everyone stops fighting, and everyone's like,
Hmm.
whoa, this went a little too far, because you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
everyone stops fighting and just looks at like seeing, whoa, this guy's actually dead now. And that's whenever Carly and the other Flag Smashers jet, because it was like, oh, it went a little too far now, because I'm not sure Carly meant to kill the guy. I mean, that punch she gave him, it was pretty hard, but
Yeah.
it ended up killing the guy. It was just a weird thing to see, and then a funny thing of how everyone just stops. All right, now it just got serious. We just
Yeah,
killed this guy.
yeah, I feel the same way. It was just shocking. Like I can't believe it. A lot of like that fight, I think was like filmed chaotically too, like for that reason.
Mhm.
And it's funny when you start thinking about it because you're like, okay, what was like the end of this all? Like they're just fighting each other, and then what are they just gonna like arrest them? Like hurt them real
Mhm.
bad. We've seen them in other scenes, like with the Zemo shootout, where they're just straight up shooting at them. Like at least some of them. Winter Soldier is using guns on like I don't know the power broker people. I'm not really sure. I couldn't remember which enemies were at that little like shipping yard place,
Yeah,
Mhm.
but like we're seeing people potentially getting killed also there too. So it's like the way they film it and how they execute it, you know, like I think really matters. And seeing that scene with Battlestar and
Mhm.
seeing him die, like that literally like moved me. I was like almost like enraged, and I could feel
yeah,
myself getting enraged for Walker. So that
yeah,
was really interesting. But then when we get to the next scene, the scene, it's like,
Nah.
oh no, stop. Stop it.
You know what? I saw this scene. It was really good. It was getting there, and then Battlestar came in, and I saw him hit that wall. I said, "Oh shit, son!" I was, that was my first reaction. But at the same time, it was inevitable. Come on, they should have been hurt like this a while ago. Even Walker before he took that serum, when he
Yeah.
took that hit on that car in the beginning, and then on the trucks, I'm like, there's no way he could have survived that
Yeah.
stuff
No way.
without having a little juice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I
And
guess supposedly he didn't have juice at the end. But I'm like, there's no way. There's no way they could have been even cut up like this.
and
So that's why I was like, it was inevitable.
Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked and invested in, and he was a good guy, but I'm like, to me, it was inevitable. He had nothing going on. If somebody had to get hurt, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, that's why I was like, okay, all right, it's believable. And I mean, yeah, I was a little sad about it, but I was just like, okay, that's being realistic here, fellas.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's what I saw. And then,
this is Carly that did that, right?
Yeah.
Carly's
Carly's
the
the
one
one
who
that
did
did
that.
it.
well, this what
Yeah.
I say is it kind of contradicts the next scene though when she did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It contradicts,
Yeah.
or it not contradicts. It kind of goes with the scene, and how people have different views on what Walker did. So I mean,
Yeah.
since we're already talking about it, let's just jump right in to that next crazy scene. Like you said, everybody stopped. Everybody, Walker's there, trying to get Battlestar up. He's out.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's
Yeah.
gone. And like you said, Carter looked and was like, "Oh shit,"
And
you know.
Jets.
hmm
Yeah. So
Yeah. So,
that whole
uh
scene. Did you want me to start? I don't know if
yeah,
you wanted me.
yeah. Go
That
ahead.
that whole scene, starting from Walker realizing Battlestar's gone. Um, that whole scene, even just him, because you see whenever he realizes he's gone, everything's silent. You see everyone running. You don't hear footsteps. You don't hear anything. All you hear is that it sounds like a violin or something in the background, just building up. And you see him seeing everyone run away, and he busts through that window with his shield
hmm
to start chasing that one of the flag smashers. And throughout the whole chase, you see him just losing. He's just yelling, "Where is she? Where is she?" And just clobbering the guy with his shield. First of all, how
hmm
does it one clobber with that shield kill you? That shield's fucking heavy, isn't it?
The
And I
serum.
remember, I
Yes.
remember, I remember when he knocked out Zemo. Remember when he threw and knocked out
Oh,
Zemo?
right on his temple.
How didn't that
hmm
kill him? That is a shield that blocks
Yeah,
freaking missiles and everything.
Zemo should
hmm
have permanent brain damage for that one.
Definitely not
Yeah,
just a
because
freaking
he's so anti super soldier that he keeps his flesh nice and spongy,
yeah.
like very human like. So he should have some sort of brain damage.
Yeah, some sort of brain damage. So the whole fight or the whole chase, you know, you see him, you see that he's lost it. He's gone. He's done. He just lost his best friend um in the heat of battle, and then he just chases after this one flag smasher, not knowing who was the one that killed Battlestar, not knowing that it was actually Carly. Um and the guy's pleading, he's just saying, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. And he just lost it. He grabbed his shield. And that's whenever you're like thinking, when he has his shield up, you're like, is he actually going to do this, or is he going to, snap out of it? And you see all the crowd with their phones out filming him, ready to, because of everything that's happening. And you see him just kill the guy. And you see Carly in the crowd just in shock, because maybe she didn't see this coming, that he would actually do this. Usually, superheroes will take him into custody and stuff like that, try to get some type of information. But he just 100% lost it. And then that, like the scene you're talking about where the Dora Milaje kick up the shield and she holds it, that was a memorable scene. And then the one where he has the blood just splattered on the shield, it was just surreal for me. That was definitely a very shocking moment.
Yeah, that like to me, like that whole scene is just like this convergence, right? Like we've been seeing like all these characters kind of like philosophize about, where they're going. Are they a terrorist? Are they a freedom fighter? Is he worthy of the shield? Is he not? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy with Zemo? Like they're almost like converging like in this episode. So like we see Carly, kill Battlestar, I think, right?
Yeah, that's
So
correct.
right after that talk with her and Falcon, where Falcon was telling her, I don't know, this guy that I know kind of thinks you're bordering on this whole terrorism thing, like you're checking all these boxes, and she's like, no, I'm not, and I think when she kills Battlestar, I think she realized that herself,
Yeah.
and so that was kind of like her convergence, like she's going that way, right? uh with Walker, it was a long time coming, but it finally happened. He became who he was, this to me, like, evil character.
Yeah.
So I guarantee he's probably not going to have any remorse, and he's going to demand respect,
Yeah.
like, after this. Like, if anything, he's going to be happy for the attention,
Yeah.
like, that he's going to get. He gets the job done. He's taking down the Flag Smashers. It's going to be even worse if the civilians, like, like the fact that he uh killed somebody so brutally. Mind you, all these civilians, like, with their phones out, they didn't
Oh
care.
yeah.
Like, they were treating it like it was like something awesome, like, oh look, like, look
Yeah, they
what's
didn't try
happening
to
over there.
stop him or
Man,
yell
they
or
Yeah, no,
said
anything.
they
it,
said World Star.
yeah, the music was
I mean, they
shocking.
did. They did. They
Yeah.
seriously
The music
said
was
that.
shocking, but like, I can see in this, like, reformed, post blip world, him having fans for stuff like that, for him
Yeah.
being ruthless like that,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's weird. And at the same time, like I said, convergence, like, Falcon is also like, he's gonna get tunnel vision on what the right thing to do is, which is take that shield away from him,
Yeah.
So it it's unfortunate that it had to be like one of the main attacks that happened in Civil War at the very end between Captain America and Iron Man, because I believe Captain America left that shield, like, in Tony, right? And it pierced the that little chess piece that Tony
Yeah, that
uses
Tony
to
has.
live, potentially, like, killing him,
Mm-hmm.
So it's unfortunate that, like, this is the second time that move has, like, ended, like, some sort of relationship with Captain America, like the
Yeah.
identity of it, at least.
Yeah.
To go back on Carly and John Walker, I'm just gonna use a little quote from one of my beloved franchise, and that is, what's the difference between a good guy and a criminal? One bad decision. And that's what it is. So when you see Carly, she made a bad decision. It's human nature. You just do it. And I feel the same way with John Walker. I know people are crucifying him, or just already saying he's the bad guy already. You know what? If my man Rich over here, I seen him. If that was Rich, not Battlestar, and I seen that shit. Oh, you damn well I'm going crazy. I don't care.
I gotta
I mean,
interrupt,
I
Dave.
see
I gotta
my
interrupt
brother. Yeah,
because
go
I
ahead.
think you're forgetting that Carly blew up a building full of people.
Well, she made bad decisions. You're right. You're right. You're
That's
right about
two
that.
strikes.
So yeah, Carly, she needs her ass handed to. But with
Yeah.
Walker, I'm just like, man, if that happened to my boy, of course I'm gonna act enraged like that. You also gotta understand his backstory, like they told you in the beginning. He's got to have postpartum,
Yeah.
with the war and everything.
Yeah.
That has
Yeah,
to play a factor in that.
PTSD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
post traumatics in his life. You know, and I understand. Did he get a little carried away and and kill the guy? Of course he did. But you're in that state of mind. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean like he's the bad guy. I mean, a lot of normal people would flip like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're seeing your brother killed 10 seconds before you did this
Yeah.
by this group, and you're just like, and you're trying to make all the good decisions, but you just can't.
Yeah.
You're just so enraged, and in the back of your mind this is wrong. But at the same time, what this also indicates too is, and Zemo kind of told it earlier in the episode in season 3, episode 3, was about the super soldiers, about these super meta people. Steve Rogers is only the true Captain America. Zemo was asked why he said all the super soldiers are dangerous and this and that, they'll make mistakes, foreshadowing what John Walker did. But when I think it was Sam or Bucky said, "Well, what about Steve Rogers?" He couldn't say anything in that scene because he said, "Well, basically he was the exception because he is the exception with Steve Rogers." So that solidifies is just like nobody can be Captain America except for Steve Rogers because he was the exception of all these super soldiers, all these people, all these regular humans that are getting the serum.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of solidifies too is Steve Rogers is, and always will be the Cap.
Yeah.
Nobody can replace him.
Yeah.
And even when he's out of the suit, during the blip, you see him helping people through therapy of everything,
Exactly.
like
Yeah,
he's just
that's
such a
him.
good dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna try not to cry, but like he's literally like an absolute hero. So anything John Walker does, like it's just
It will never amount to him.
no matter what. I mean, yeah, there's redemption for people, right?
Yeah.
But you have to pay for it like for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
And the redemption doesn't come from me like forgiving the actions. The redemption comes from him forgiving himself and walking that path to his own redemption. So that's just something that I don't know where this character goes, like I don't read like the comics with him in it or anything like that. So
Right.
I don't know.
So my next question, guys, to wrap this up is with John Walker. So the government, what do you think the government's going to do, Rich, as far as, are they going to, kind of cover it up for him? Are they going to, punish him? Are they going to let him go and make him a fugitive now? I mean, what do you think the government's going to do? Are they just going to say, "Oh, it had to be done"?
Well, seeing how they treat him already, I feel like they're going to cover it up because they can't have their choice for Captain America fail so early. It's not. I don't think that they're going to let that happen. They're going to cover it up, and it also depends on like what Vic was saying, the reaction of the crowd. Are they going to be happy? Are they going to be like, this is for a good thing, or the guy deserved it, or anything like that, or he gets the job done, or anything. So it's also going to depend on the reaction of the crowd, I guess. But I really do feel like the government's going to cover it up.
That sucks. Yeah, I mean, you could be onto something. Like I didn't really think about that, but and you're right. For them to have put him out and him fail so early would be just such a blemish on everything.
Yeah.
But even if they do cover it up, how do they cover up like, hey, Battlestar's not next to me anymore? Like, or maybe he never was, because you see people like come up and get his autograph and they don't even look at Battlestar.
Yeah, they don't even look at Battlestar. Yeah, that's true.
People won't even care. Maybe that's something that we need to be paying attention to this show. Like kind of things going under the radar like that.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. I'm almost done. Hold on, babe. Babe, hold on. Sorry, guys. We got to wrap this up. Kelly's at the door. I got to get going. So everybody, whoever, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and always leave your comments down below. Are you on the fence on with me or with Vic? Everybody makes bad decisions with John Walker. What do you think the government's going to do? Leave your comments down. Leave your comments down below. All right, relax. I'll be there in a minute, Kelly. All right, I got to go, guys. Thank you. Remember, never could be enough scoundrels in your life.